apparently through dialoguing with the aliens, the plan is that open disclosure, open contact is actually going to happen soon. I mean, humans are coming to between AI and technology exponentially increasing so fast, so we're almost becoming a new species. Yo, I've never been much of an alien person. I've known some people who have been into aliens and who have said they've had alien experiences, but they've always seemed a little crazy to me. But at the same time, they also seemed like there was truth in what they were saying, but they were kind of just having trouble processing it or being able to communicate it with others in a grounded way. But I am a very spiritual person, and I've had experiences. As I said in a video earlier this year, I've heard a voice speak to me. I met my grandma's spirit in a dream once. I felt like a spirit in my room once at night. It's so I'm a very spiritual person, but I've never really been too into the alien thing. About, as probably most of people have heard, about 2 months ago now, there was a whole bunch of orb sightings in New Jersey and around the east coast of the United States, and apparently a whole bunch of orb sightings. And I saw that on the news and I found it interesting. I thought, okay, that's probably drones, but apparently there were just hundreds or thousands of sightings, and there was lots of videos. And for whatever reason, I got inspired to look into this. I was like, hey, seems like there's something here. And especially it took a while for the government to say something about it. The fact that the government waited a long time and then had like a weird explanation and didn't fully explain things and just said everything is okay. And that inspired me to look more into it, which led me into a whole big rabbit hole of reading all sorts of YouTube videos, articles, Reddit posts. I went down this big rabbit hole, and I got to the point where looking at different videos, articles, documentaries, Reddit posts, like something shifted in me, and I was like, whoa, it almost feels like crazy saying this out loud, but hey, I think this is real. And anyways, I'm gonna share with you, out of all the research I did, I found one extremely compelling source, in my opinion, which has been my favorite source in this investigation I've been doing. But there's so much sources out there. To get into that, one of the most compelling resources that I found regarding aliens is an author named Dolores, and she actually died like 10 years ago, but she's an author who wrote about 12 books, and over the last 2 months I'm on a 5th book by her right now. I'm enjoying her books. She's a woman who got into hypnotherapy, and at first she got into hypnotherapy to help people like quit smoking or losing weight. But what she realized was she was really gifted at doing hypnotherapy, and she could get people into a very hypnotized state where they're very, they're lying down and they're relaxed and they're unconscious, and she could go back into their past and explore traumatic events, and the client or patient would get clarity on problems that they're having today because of like past traumatic events that were laying in their unconscious. And an incredible thing started happening when she started bringing, the word she uses is regressing. When she hypnotized people and regressed them back into their childhood and regressed them back in years, something really remarkable started happening, is that people started talking about past lives. And she was like, okay, go back some years, and suddenly started, instead of talking about their childhood, they were talking about a life in like the 1800s. And at first she was like, okay, that was kind of weird. Was that just their subconscious, almost like a dream, talking in symbolism? But she ended up doing this with, I don't know, hundreds of different people. The past lives people were talking about, she was able to like historically validate what they were saying, and it's extremely fascinating. And actually about 3 years ago, I recommended a book by someone else who did past life regressions as well. So this isn't a new thing I was aware of. I'd already been introduced to this by another guy. But anyway, so first she was into hypnotherapy and then into past lives. But someone she regressed started talking about some alien thing in their past. And she regressed them and realized this person had a legit alien experience. And that already the past lives was already like blowing her mind. And now she's regressed someone who's talking about like an alien experience. And that blew her mind even more. And then she started seeking out people who thought they've had alien experiences or abductions. And then so she would hypnotize them and regress them back to that period and have the person recount what happened in the hypnotized state and recount the alien experience, and the person would be able to go into extreme detail in the hypnotized state. In her books, it's just mind-blowing the stories that she shares of lots of people she went and seeked out. She went to like alien conventions and hypnotized people and regressed them, and found hundreds of like true stories, and the different stories would have like similar corroborating evidence, similar themes. It wasn't like she knew it. Sometimes she felt like she got people who were just like creating stuff and wanting attention, but she did so many and the themes are so similar, and they all talked about a certain type of alien that she was like, whoa, this is real. So, and she did this for like decades, you know, and she seems like a very trustworthy person. But anyways, yeah, then in the hypnotized state, she was actually able, with like a couple of her patients, she was able to actually channel the alien during her hypnotized state. Yeah, I know this gets super weird, and she was actually able to have dialogues with the aliens. It just gets weirder and weirder. And eventually she starts like regressing some people, and these people ended up, instead of having normal human past lives, they would talk about past lives on other planets or even other dimensions and other beings of pure light. And her books are incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's paradigm shattering, and I believe it. Something shifted in me. It feels weird even saying this out loud. And apparently through dialoguing with the aliens, the plan is that open disclosure, open contact is actually going to happen soon. I mean, humans are coming to, between AI and technology exponentially increasing so fast, so we're almost becoming a new species ourselves. And then I guess with nuclear possibilities and climate change, the human species is at a pivotal time, and apparently the aliens have decided, hey, it's time to have open contact with human society, because they're in a very critical time where they could destroy themselves soon. And so what their plan is to very gradually kind of introduce themselves to us, because if they introduce themselves to us suddenly, this feels kind of crazy to talk about, society would collapse, no one would go to work the next day, so they have to do it very gradually. And that not only is the plan that aliens are going to show themselves to us soon, but she talked about aliens from different planets and dimensions have actually started to incarnate as humans and have their first human lives to almost help that alien integration too. So they're not only, aliens aren't only coming like in ships, but that aliens are also coming, the alien souls are actually incarnating as human bodies. So I think most humans have been here living human lives for a long time. Like what she said in this book is she regressed people who this was actually their first lifetime as a human in a human body, and that their soul was actually living in like alien planets and alien dimensions. And we're basically shifting into this new era soon where humans will know that aliens exist, and they've been here the whole time. They just, I don't know, cloak their spaceships or whatever. They're almost like in a different dimension. They're just so far more advanced than us that we can't even imagine and comprehend. But so I don't know if I almost, while digesting this and actually believing it, I actually felt like I was going a little crazy, but something shifted in me. I think in terms of aliens, if you actually think about it, it's a really shocking concept that there are beings more advanced with us and that they've been here for a long time. And it's actually a very shocking thing, and especially the movies and TV shows in human culture depict aliens in a very scary light, alien invasions and all that stuff. And I guess the caveat, I always do my best to be a responsible message giver, and from my research, there's nothing to be afraid of regarding the aliens, because it is a shocking topic. I don't want someone to watch this video and get into aliens and start being afraid. In the research that I've done, the aliens are benevolent, they're loving and care about us, and that there's nothing to be afraid of. Apparently they believe in God, they call God Source, and we are one with them, and that there is like an alliance or council that's watching over the earth, but we're supposed to develop our souls in our own time for whatever reason. Yeah, so I am curious if any of my viewers think they've had some alien experiences. Please comment below, or comment below your thoughts about aliens. Check out these Dolores Cannon books. Am I going crazy, or is this actually real? One non-alien book that she wrote that was her first book just about reincarnation is called 5 Lives Remembered, and that's actually one of my favorite books by her, of hers, that I recommend. 5 Lives Remembered. And I guess my last caveat is, I think it's always very important to have a discerning and challenging mind. The few people I know who have kind of gone into aliens, they seem to often have lost their groundedness and go a little crazy. And as I talked about in Jungian psychology, the unconscious often gives us symbols. I've had some alien dreams, but I feel like those dreams have been more symbolic. And that's one thing I feel like some of the alien people get confused on. As you know, I've researched Jungian psychology, and Jung talks about how the unconscious provides symbols. And maybe if like an alien is in someone's dream, that alien is just a symbol representing the unknown, for example. You know, so have a discerning and challenging mind about aliens. And you know, but like, I think there's some truth to this, and we might be in very exciting times within the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years. Maybe I'm going crazy, but there's a lot of resources out there and a lot of people talking about this if you actually look into it. I'd be curious if, I don't think Dolores Cannon books are for everyone. It's very out there. I wore this kind of goofy hat just to show levity in this video, to show lightness, and you know, to some alien people get really serious. When Dolores Cannon regressed these people who had alien experiences, and she even regressed people who thought they had like alien abduction experiences, but she said in every single case that she explored, every single time the alien was benevolent, and there actually were some kind of like abduction isn't the right word, but she said like there's on an unconscious or on a soul contract level, these people agreed to this experience, but the aliens actually took people onto their ships and actually repaired them and did some like surgery and repaired some people's healths. And that's why there's this kind of confusion about abductions, but the aliens were actually helping people. And she said in every experience that she's had in her like 30-year career of doing these regressions, every single one of them, every single experience she's had has been that the aliens have been benevolent and loving, and they even believe in God. They call God, I think, Source, and that they care for us and want the best for us. So have no fear. You know, lots of people will say crazy things about aliens, and people have been conditioned to, you know, have these scary beliefs. This feels crazy saying this stuff out loud. I'm curious the reception of this video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos. I'll maybe put links to some of my more spiritual videos in the description. And yeah, have no fear. If you're ever kind of scared about aliens, call upon God or benevolent being or an angel, or, you know, and Jesus if you're a Christian or whatever, to protect you. There's nothing to be afraid of. You know, have no fear. But like I said, I'm no expert. This is all kind of speculation from my end, but even if it's fiction, I find it kind of fascinating, but I actually believe there's truth to this. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos and have a great day. Peace out.